1. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro's home seized amid legal tensions. 2. Brazil's Supreme Court raids Bolsonaro, judge's visa revoked in US. 3. Bolsonaro ordered to wear ankle tag and face curfew amid coup allegations. 1. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro's home seized amid legal tensions. Imagine waking up to police at your door and a judge's order to wear an ankle monitor, all while being banned from social media and talking to your own family. This isn't a thriller plot, it's the reality for former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro after Brazil's Supreme Court unleashed a wave of dramatic restrictions against him. The backstory? Brazilian authorities raided Bolsonaro's home and political headquarters on July 18, 2025, acting on court warrants that accused him of potentially colluding with allies of former US President Donald Trump, according to Reuters. But here's where it gets controversial: the Supreme Court didn't just stop at searches. Justice Alexandra de Moraes ordered Bolsonaro to trade his freedom for an ankle monitor, citing a concrete possibility he might flee, a claim critics call exaggerated. The restrictions read like a laundry list of humiliations. Bolsonaro can't leave his house between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., can't post on social media, and is even barred from contacting his son Eduardo, who's been lobbying in Washington to intervene. But why? The court alleges Bolsonaro's team was plotting to undermine Brazil's democracy, possibly with foreign help, an accusation his supporters vehemently deny. Enter Donald Trump, who blasted the measures as an unjust system in a public letter, demanding the trial end immediately. "You're being treated terribly," Trump wrote on Truth Social, sparking outrage from Bolsonaro's opponents who see the interference as meddling. So, is this justice or a power grab? Detractors argue the Supreme Court is overstepping its bounds, while others see the moves as necessary to stop a would-be autocrat. And this is the part most people miss: Brazil's fragile political climate means these actions could either prevent chaos or ignite it. Your turn: do these measures protect democracy, or cross the line into political persecution? Share your thoughts below. 2. Brazil's Supreme Court raids Bolsonaro, judge's visa revoked in US. In a stunning showdown echoing across international borders, Brazil's Supreme Court has taken extraordinary measures against former President Jair Bolsonaro, a dramatic escalation that instantly triggered a diplomatic tit-for-tat with Washington. Here's what unfolded and why it matters. Federal agents executed coordinated raids targeting Bolsonaro this Friday, acting on warrants authorized by Brazil's highest judicial body. The court imposed severe restrictions. Bolsonaro must now wear an ankle monitoring device, a physical tether alerting authorities if he leaves designated areas, completely cease communication with foreign officials, abandon all social media activity, and avoid any proximity to embassy zones. But here's where it gets controversial. Justice Alexandra de Moraes justified these measures by citing a tangible risk that Bolsonaro might attempt to flee Brazil, a claim the former leader vehemently denies. Washington retaliated within hours, slapping visa restrictions on Justice Moraes and unnamed judicial allies. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio blasted Moraes' actions as a political witch hunt, explicitly linking the visa bans to the court's treatment of Bolsonaro. The Supreme Court hasn't yet countered this accusation, leaving a tense diplomatic silence. At the heart of this conflict lies Bolsonaro's ongoing trial for allegedly orchestrating a coup to block current President Lula da Silva's 2023 inauguration. The situation turned explosive when Donald Trump, Bolsonaro's key international ally, publicly demanded Brazil halt the trial, calling it a witch hunt. Trump amplified pressure by threatening 50% tariffs on Brazilian imports starting August 1, a move Moraes interpreted as deliberate economic coercion to sabotage Brazil's judiciary. In an emotional interview with Reuters, Bolsonaro condemned Moraes as a dictator and labeled the restrictions acts of cowardice. The ankle monitor, he revealed, made him feel supremely humiliated, particularly as a former head of state. He did, however, admit he'd seek a meeting with Trump if his passport, seized by police last year, were returned. And here's the twist many overlook: while Bolsonaro denied coordinating U.S. lobbying efforts, his son Eduardo, a congressman actively rallying support in Washington, may pursue American citizenship to avoid returning to Brazil. White House spokesperson Anna Kelly intensified the rhetorical warfare, stating Bolsonaro faces attacks from a weaponized court system, echoing Trump's framing of the conflict. Moraes fired back in his ruling, accusing Bolsonaro of inciting foreign interference that violates Brazil's sovereignty, notably through Trump's tariff threats designed to induce a severe economic crisis. As a 5-judge panel upheld Moraes' decision late Friday, a critical question emerges: is this a legitimate defense of judicial independence against foreign meddling, or the politicization of Brazil's courts? The world watches as economic pressure, diplomatic sanctions, and raw political survival clash. Where do you stand? Is external intervention ever justified to protect a political ally? Share your perspective below. 3. Bolsonaro ordered to wear ankle tag and face curfew amid coup allegations. Imagine being restricted to your home under the watchful eye of authorities, all while facing accusations of plotting a coup. This is the reality for Brazil's ex-president Jair Bolsonaro. A Brazilian court has imposed a strict curfew and mandated an ankle monitor, claiming he poses a flight risk during his trial. But here's where it gets controversial. Bolsonaro has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, insisting he never left the country. So, is this a legal precaution, or a political overreach? Let's unpack the storm brewing around this case. The charges against Bolsonaro center on alleged efforts to overturn the 2022 election results and block President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva's inauguration in January 2023. His legal team calls the accusations baseless, arguing the former leader has always cooperated with judicial orders. However, federal investigators allege Bolsonaro led a coordinated criminal organization to destabilize Brazil's democracy. The evidence? A 884-page report unsealed in 2024 claims he was directly involved in planning the violent storming of government buildings by his supporters last year. And this is the part most people miss: the court isn't just targeting Bolsonaro alone. 7 others stand accused alongside him, facing charges ranging from coup conspiracy to damaging national heritage sites. Meanwhile, the U.S.